Hello, Clarissa.
Hi,
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing well.
That's great. That's great. Before we start, I wanted to go over with you the limits of confidentiality. Are you aware of what the limits of confidentiality are?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so just to give you an idea, the limits of confidentiality are just stating that, this therapy session is a safe place for you to talk about anything that you need to. However, there are limits to what I can and cannot disclose with the authorities. Those limits being, if you tell me that you are thinking of killing yourself or killing somebody else, I do have to report that to the authorities. As well as if you tell me that there is abuse to a child or an elder, that's something else that I need to report to the authorities. Okay?
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you? Are you clear on that?
Yeah, I am. Thanks.
Okay, great. No, you're welcome. So, tell me what it is that you're here for today.
I'm just here to talk about some things that are going on in my life that hopefully you can help me with.
Okay, no, that's fine. Let's start off. What is one of those things that you wanted to talk about?
So right now, I am being considered for a head coaching position at my high school.
Congratulations.
Thanks. But it's been kind of weird for me because, I don't know, I guess I'm struggling with whether or not I'm actually prepared to do the job, how the girls will perceive me, and, I'm 23, so I would probably be the youngest coach ever at that high school at the time, so all those thoughts running through my head,
I see. And what makes you think that you're not qualified for that position?
Well, in my last interview with the person who's supposed to be hiring me, he alluded to the fact that social media is such a factor when it comes to them hiring people, and he basically asked me, is there anything on your Instagram, your Facebook that you wouldn't want people to see if because now you're representing the school and whatever. So I was like, no. But then he's like, okay, well, also there's certain places you can't be because it's a Christian school. You can't be at a bar, you can't be somewhere where people would not want a head coach of the school to be. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I see.
So I guess sometimes I'm not sure if I can live up to that expectation that they would have because I'm still young and I still wanted to go to those places and post whatever I want,
I see what you're saying. So it's a Christian high school.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And this was your high school,
Yeah, I used to go there. I graduated from there. I love the school, and I don't really do anything that's really condemning to them that would misrepresent them at all anyway. But it's just having that thought in your head,
Right. So you're saying that even though you probably don't engage in those kinds of condemning activities or behaviors, you now have that thought in your head like, oh, I have to really think more about it just because he brought it up to you.
Right, or behave in a sense. And I definitely don't believe that would be something that he would say to someone who was older, but he was just saying it to me because I'm younger and in the social media age and I can do certain things and whatnot.
I understand. Well, I mean, if you already told me that you feel like those aren't the things that you typically engage in anyways, I don't see why there would be so much of a problem with you getting the job. I mean, if you're qualified for the job and the position, I mean, they were thinking about you to begin with. Yeah. I think that you should have a little bit more confidence in yourself. I think you would make a really great head coach.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, maybe I should.
And did you used to play basketball at the school when you went?
Yeah, I did used to play at the school when I went.
Oh, okay.
I played all 4 years, and that's the other thing. Since I went through the program, I can more easily be able to tell things that need to be fixed with the program so that other girls can succeed since I went through it,
See, already I feel like you're doing really well.
Yeah, I'm trying.
That's good. I think that when you're in a position like that and somebody says something to you, it can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
And pretty daunting, oh wait.
Yeah, I have to just do a double take and reevaluate my entire life. Would I do this in the future?
Right.
Depending on how long I coach there. It could be years. And so I have to really make sure I'm thinking about everything that I'm doing.
Do you see yourself as the kind of person that would, if you became the head coach, just kind of forego that kind of behavior? To say, oh, you know what, whatever, and compromise that kind of position?
I don't believe that I would. I mean, at this point, I don't believe that I would. At this point, I wouldn't do it anyway to begin with. But it's just, just that extra, like that bug in my ear, like
Right.
you gotta behave, you do this, you gotta behave. And again, I don't think he would have said that to someone who was older, who already has their life set, already has their routines and things like that. But just the fact that he said it to me, I kind of felt like it was, I don't know, not even an insult, but just like he's putting like a leash on me, you know. Like, if you do this, you gotta behave, you know. Like,
does that deter you from wanting the job or the position any more than when you first applied?
It was kind of weird to hear him say that to me. Just because I guess he said it because I'm young, but he didn't actually have any grounds to say that. Like, he didn't really have like my information, or maybe he did. Maybe that's why he said it. But like he didn't have it. Like, he wasn't like looking through. Oh, yes, I've seen your Instagram, and like you had all these several pictures up, and you had to delete them all if you want to be the coach. You know, he didn't. It wasn't like that. Like, he always talks very highly of me. You know, great character, Clarissa, great this, everything's amazing. But you can't do this, can't do that. I'm like, okay, but I wasn't doing it anyway. You know.
Well, then, I mean, right there, you said it. He speaks highly of you. He says great character.
Yeah.
You know, the way you present yourself to others. I feel like if he didn't honestly feel like you would do well in that position, he probably wouldn't have even considered you to begin with. So,
sure.
Honestly, I feel like you should have a little bit more confidence in yourself. This would be a good opportunity for you. Yeah. And really, if the people around you are saying, this would be really good for you and I think that you can pull it off, then I'm pretty sure that you will be able to pull it off.
Thanks.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. I mean, I just hope I am qualified as well, because I am still young. So I think, I know basketball. There's no question about that. I love basketball. I coach the girls, but he always alludes to, coach isn't someone who can just give a girl a play and, be able to. It's not so much about like coaching in the basketball aspect, but just the personal aspect of it all too, like relating to the girls, having a relationship with them, having them look up to me and respect me. Like, that is more important than the actual game.
Do you think your age would hinder that? Or help it?
I'm not sure. Because I don't know. I'm much closer in age to them than any other prospective coach is. I don't know if that helps me or not. Because sometimes I feel like they see me as young. They know I'm young too. Like, they see me as a younger person. So maybe that might play into how much they respect me. Just because they think that I'm younger, then I'll have like the years of experience. Like, they might look at me differently. I don't know how they see me. That's the thing. I don't really know. I can't really expect how they see me. But I guess that would be how it would be if I was any age, to be fair. But just the fact that I'm young, they might like discredit me. Like, oh, Clarissa, like, you haven't done this. But you're coaching us, like, I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird feeling.
Well, I personally don't know anything about basketball, but I mean, if I were to go into that, that kind of position as I am now,
yeah,
I feel like I would be very lost.
Right.
And then any discredit that they would have given me would have been like, oh,
yeah,
valid.
Right.
But you said that you've been playing basketball for a while, so I assume you do know the sport pretty well.
Yeah.
You could use that to your advantage. With the age, I know that you were saying that maybe because you're closer in age, it might kind of make them respect you a little less. However, I also feel like, if I were a child in that position, or I was younger and I was on a team and I had somebody who was close in age that was coaching me, I feel like I would feel kind of like we were going to build a rapport or a relationship where I could talk to you a little bit more easily because you aren't so old that you wouldn't understand the generational things that are going on in my life.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm not so far removed from the things that they have
Exactly.
That's true.
So, you could really use that to your advantage, your age. Instead of looking at it as such like a negative thing that might hurt you, it could also really help you to engage and really build the relationships with those girls.
Yeah, I definitely see that actually too. I guess it's just like looking at things from two different perspectives. It could be good or bad, but it's all about how I decide to handle it.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. That's the thing about it. Like, I have plenty of experience in basketball, but I don't have as much experience coaching, like as I have with just basketball, you know?
Right. And
So,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, your hesitation or your reservations about it.
Yeah.
But you'll never know until you try.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna let it. I don't want that to be a reason why I count myself out and don't try to give myself the chance to assume the position. That's not. I don't think that's fair to me. I don't think it's fair to the girls because I really do want to help them.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing about it too is that they have been doing things a certain way for a very long time. Like since I've been at the school, they haven't really changed their program at all.
Oh, okay.
So right, and they haven't really been that good for the same amount of time.
Oh.
So right, yeah. So it's like me coming in, like I would do everything differently. You know, it's almost like just a switch.
Okay.
And so sometimes I have to think about, you know, if I were to do this, how do I do it in a way that's they can feel comfortable with the change, and you know, I don't want them to feel like, oh, everything's different now, I don't want to do it, or it's not the same anymore, so I don't want to do it. I don't want it to be something that offsets them.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be gradual, but I also want them to understand that we have to do certain things as soon as possible, differently to get to where we want to be, you know?
Well, it does sound like you're very passionate about it.
Yeah.
With any change, you know, it could be difficult for people to accept change. However, do you have a supervisor that you can discuss this with? Like, say you were to get the position. Is there somebody that you could talk to and bounce ideas off of that would help you as you're going along that journey?
Yeah. So the guy who I've been having my interviews with, he's the athletic director, and I have a great relationship with him. So he's very helpful. And then also, if I were the head coach, there would be an assistant. I don't necessarily know who that would be, but whoever I'm working with, you know, they're with the girls just as much as I am. So they would be able to see things that maybe that I don't see, and you know, we can collaborate together to try and make the best environment for the girls in that way. So like those two would probably be the people who will be closest to me. But yeah, like again, like I wouldn't know who the assistant would be. Most likely, I wouldn't have a relationship with them because, you know, as of now, because I wouldn't know who it is.
Right. Okay. Right.
Yeah. Like I have to build that. It's like so many like new relationships that I would have to build doing that. You know.
But you wouldn't be alone.
I wouldn't be alone. No, I might feel alone because sometimes, you know how sometimes you see things a certain way and you can't be sure if everyone else sees it the way you see it. So you have a mindset that maybe you have to explain to them or that they don't see. So it's just like sometimes you have a disconnect there, you know?
Yes.
So I wouldn't be alone physically, but I might sometimes feel alone. Maybe.
Okay. Well, if you do feel alone in those instances, I think it would be important for you to talk to, you know, a supervisor or your assistant because that's why they're there.
Right.
As well as if you wanted to come and talk to me as well about these things, I'm completely open to that as well. But it would, in my opinion, do good for you if you were to express yourself more and just be honest and open with your partners and your team.
Yeah.
And I think that would help you as well grow because, you know, even if you are a coach, you're just not alone in that. And I think that's what I really wanted to point out. Don't feel like you're alone because you have your supervisor, you have the assistant coach, you have the girls that you can say, hey, I have this idea. How do you feel about it? If they don't like it, you can say, okay, well, how do you think we should go about it? Because I really want what's best for all of us in the end.
Right.
You know, so...
Yeah, and that's the thing that I think would keep us all together. The fact that we have a common goal of succeeding.
Right.
So that's, you know, what I would probably just try and bring everything back to, you know, when I would talk to them. I'm like, hey, if you want to win, if you want to do this. That's the thing. I guess, like, we might have different goals, you know. I want to win. The assistant coach might just want to be nice to the girls, just, like, be there, you know. And so it's just... Like, we have to have some kind of common ground over what we actually really want for the girls and what we think is the best for them, you know?
Right. And communication can probably help with that as well.
Yeah. Right. Definitely. Yeah. And I also would want to, whoever the assistant coach would be, I would want them to feel just as important to the girls as I think I am, you know? Like I've been in the assistant position before, and I felt like I wasn't really heard. You know, I would have some suggestions that weren't always put into the practice or whatnot. So I would definitely want to include, like, even like even if like what I thought that the assistant coach would want to propose, like have him do on the court, maybe if I don't necessarily agree with it, I might just let her do it anyway, just so that she feels important, just so that she feels like she has some say or some significance to the team, and she's not just there floating. You know what I mean? Like, I want her to feel involved, and I want the girls to also respect her as someone who is directly involved as well, and who they can go to for direction as well. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you've been in pretty much all the positions except
yeah.
the supervisor position.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I feel like you're coming at it from all these different angles. And you're seeing how you felt when you were a student and you were a player. Then you can look at it from the angle of being an assistant coach. And now you're getting the angle of being a coach. And I feel like pulling all those different things together would definitely help you with this position currently. You know what it's like to be on the team and be a valued member. You know what it's like to be the assistant coach and feeling like, oh, my voice isn't heard. Well, now you have that platform to honestly put all those things that you know and you love and you hate about the sport and coalesce that all together and just make it the best thing that you feel like is for the best thing for those children.
Right.
And for everybody. So that's great. Honestly, that's really great.
Yeah.
We are actually at the end of our time for the session.
Okay.
However, I felt like this was a really good session. I'd really like to know more about what's going on with you and how it goes for you at the job.
Okay, thanks.
No, you're welcome. How do you think this session went?
Really well. I am so appreciative of you for just listening to me and helping me talk through my thoughts. And you really helped me with just giving me confidence that I should be confident in the job, that I should be more confident, and just the fact that, like, I've seen a lot of things and, like, and those things are going to help me be better at the position. So I feel much better about it now than I did coming in.
Well, I'm honestly, I'm really glad about that. And would you want to, what were some things that you might want to talk about in future sessions?
I guess just the progress, how it's going, if I do get the job, if I don't, progress, my feelings about actually being in the position, like what the dynamics actually are. I have my perception of it now, like how it actually is going. So yeah, just like things that I didn't think I would experience with the girls that I am experiencing with them. Like, I would definitely want to talk about all of those things with you.
Okay, well, that is something that we can definitely talk about in future sessions. Awesome. I want to thank you for coming here today and speaking with me.
Of course.
And I really do appreciate it. I will schedule an appointment for you in the future so that way we can discuss more. And I hope you do well with the interview. I do hope you get the job.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
No, I appreciate your time. Thank you. You take care.
You too. Bye.